Part 2. It's getting busy around here. They're roaming around the Piñata ritualistically in circles. As you can see, one. Look at them, they're everywhere. Piñata time. Buses outside, everything. Piñata, guys. Taxi cops line up, there we go. Hit the Piñata. With your noise, your running around in circles, movement to drain it of its energy, confuse it, annoy it, psychological warfare, birds, you name it, everything. They even had to find a way to attach nature to the microchip with wind, birds, and frigging everything. It's crazy. Crazy. These guys are sick, man. They need help. It's not good to make too much money and be too comfortable in life. You gotta struggle a bit because you lose your mind. They've lost their minds. They detached from reality a couple hundred years ago. And they're living in a place where they have nothing better to do with their time than to pick on people and abuse them. Think about it. That's exactly what's going on here. A bunch of spoiled people that so far in the world, over 300 years, nobody was able to unseat them because of their vigilante tactics. And everyone, a lot of people tried, but they got it. They worked alone, that's why. So they have to conspire against them properly, like they've conspired against the world to unseat them, because they've constructed a system that's so hard to conspire against. It's covert, and its tentacles are entering every single establishment, and their eyes are everywhere. So it's very hard to do that. Here we go, GFE coming. So there it is, guys. Piñata time. That's hitting the Piñata. In your face hitting the Piñata. Movement hitting the Piñata. Noises hitting the Piñata. We have a big zombie group coming to hit the Piñata. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much all of it. You know? It's sort of a ritual around a victim that's terrified and scared, and they want you to be that way because that's how they can get the energy out. But because I'm tough, I stand there and I laugh at them. That's why you get these dirty looks from them. Because they're not happy, they're unhappy. Their so-called ritualistic Piñata experiment went wrong. I woke up. You know, well, fuck, you want to brainwash people, you gotta expect some of them to wake up at least. You know? So, I woke up, guys. The Piñata festival got screwed up. And now they're angry. They're trying to find a way to keep me in it, because if I come out of it, it defeats the whole purpose of them doing it in the first place. I was their prize. I was born in 75, guys. This was done to me way before technology. So you can imagine how important I am to them. Maybe they've done it to other people around the world, but it's besides the point. I was one of the first, if they've done anybody else. So this is their prize. And if this doesn't work, that means their whole idea of creating a hexagonish Piñata ritual is pretty much a failure. It's a big blow to their idea, a big idea. I mean, this is what it's based on. That's how they want to design the world after this. Turn it into farms like these. That's what's going to run the economy. They don't want manufacturing. They have machines to do that. That's why they built up robots. They want to have these people that are not a threat to them, this kind of people that will do whatever they tell them to do, that's supposed to be a part of them. And the ones that will fight back or, you know, have any kind of sort of humanity in them are the ones that are doing this to, turning them into piñatas. And manufacturing, the robots, the machines will do it. And these are the people that will be their slaves, that will serve them. You know what I mean? They don't care about their women because they have their own women. They're inbreds. They like to breed with their own people. And they use these guys' women as their own personal hookers. Not even hookers, slaves. And the men to build up the Piñata ritual for them to come and have fun as a sport. Then when they're done, they'll take their women and have an orgy with them. That's how it works. It's always worked that way. But today's world is designed differently in terms of not the basics and the pillars of the abuse and torture, but in terms of the way it's done. It's done psychologically and emotionally. It's not done physically like it used to be done back in the days. And in the meantime, they're preparing all these guys that are depriving from women, sex dolls to have sex with. And they're giving women lots of work, so they forget about having a man. They're too busy for a man. So that's how they divide them up. And when they're working, you know, they don't have a man. Once in a while, they'll tap into them and have an orgy and go back to their wives. This is how the world is set up. This is their master plan. That's what they want. That's the reason why they introduced so many drugs in the last 50, 60 years, to sedate you, because you're being tortured. You're gonna want them because oxytocin is being stripped away from you, that you get from bonding with people, your family, your husband, your wife, your kids, your neighbors, your community, your neighborhood. That gives you oxytocin, it's called. Through social bonding, we feel good, we communicate, we bond with each other. So what did they do instead? They took that away and came up with a chemical that's called OxyContin instead of oxytocin, which is pretty much heroin. Legal, it could be prescribed to you, and you're going to need it because you're going to be miserable. We're all divided. Women don't have men because they're too busy working. Men don't have women because they don't have enough to offer them. They can barely pay the rent. So why would a woman want to struggle with a guy if he's not going to give her a decent life? So you can't blame the woman, you can't blame the man, and in the end, the only people that benefit is these inbred asshole 10, 20,000 on top, and everybody else is a slave. And every human being that has any kind of decency in him to change the system or make it better is being used as a piñata in the process, for them to leech off his energy so he can go home, recharge, come the next day to join another piñata festival. That's it. I have it worked out. This is exactly the world we live in today, guys. So all this charade they give you about wars and countries against each other and this and that, it's all bullshit. There's nothing more than a misdirection. Nothing more. It's to misdirect you, make you think that there are groups against groups, that it's about religion, that it's about Muslims, and it's about this and that. Bull fucking crap. Everyone on top is in on it together, and they're laughing at everybody else on the bottom. That's exactly our world situation. Whoever does not know this information, I feel sorry for him. Because they are being taken left and right and abused and misdirected and laughed at and cheated and tricked. And this is the world we live in, guys. Nothing more. That's it. So a lot of them here are coming to the ritual. They don't want to, but they're running out of people. And in this area, there's not a lot of people that would do this. So they're bringing, you could see these people coming in a hurry, sort of, they don't want to be here. They have to do it though, because they're a part of this cult. They don't need it to collapse, because a person like me, who's not supposed to come here every day, I'm supposed to pass by here once, you know, they flip the place around, they pause, I pass by, I leave, I go home, it goes back to normal. Life moves on. So that's it, guys. This is it. I'm a microchip guy that was microchipped without his consent. And through the microchip, they've created this piñata world for me. I became a piñata. And they locate me, they watch me, they see through me, they listen to me, they know everything about me. Complete control and domination. It's in my eyes. And God knows, maybe they have more in my body. I've done body surgeries, but 100% sure it's in my eyes, at least, each one. Nano chip, small, injected into the optical nerve. Could also put it in the retina. And I want to remove them so I can be free. And that's one thing they're not going to allow. So every time I come here, they'll put the hospital on pause. Even if they have to close it down, this whole hospital, they don't care. They will pay. They have the money. They're the ones who build these hospitals with their found donations and everything. The person who runs the hospital ain't the government or the president of the hospital. It's them. They have the final say, but covertly. They're not the face. But that's what this organization did 100, 200, 300, 400 years ago, is to run the whole system, make a copy of the system and control it themselves, and keep a face system for us to think that the ones that are running are the ones in the face. There's just a face, guys, that they control. That's why the whole system is two-faced, because it's got two faces to it. It's got a face to smile for us to think that it's running it, but the real ugly, mean face is right behind it, pulling the strings. It's like that in everything. Government, hospitals, even a convenience store, believe it or not. This is the world we live in. And unfortunately, I was born an orphan, and they took control of me, prepped me slowly to be able to be chipped in time when the technology was ready, and enter this world without noticing anything different. So I don't realize, hey, what's going on here? So they prepped me slowly as I grew up to this. They chose two big families that were Freemasons in Lebanon, and those two big families were taught how to treat me like this, to keep me always sexually turned on. From when I was a kid, I got I got raped, seen everyone in my family naked. Tactics and tactics. Never talk to you properly, give you advice, support you emotionally, psychologically. So they were prepping me to enter this world. They did their job very good. And when the technology was ready, I was here in 96, 97, I got microchipped. So that means the system took over. You know, they still did their work, but at least then they didn't have to worry anymore. Their preparation for me to enter the system and not question it was done very well. That's it. That's it. That's my story. So guys, I've been a piñata all my life. I've never had a real conversation with anyone. Every conversation I have, whether it was my ex-girlfriends or friends or family, psychological warfare designed to make me feel and think a certain way, it was prepped. It's artificial. I never really sat with someone, they talked to me the way they felt, or no. They were paid, brought over, and prepped to tell me certain information that kept me miserable, negative, dismantled, thinking about things that are not good for me. Every single conversation I've ever had in my whole entire life, in God knows how many countries. So this is the kind of artificial life that they gave me from the beginning, for me to enter this one and not be able to tell the difference. It was a good preparation, you know? So basically, this is, you know, just got hit the piñata a little bit softly by pacing and making noise, pacing, and all the circleness around me. It's like a snake. It's like a snake running around and shooting poisonous needles at a piñata. And then when this piñata gets nicely drugged and weak and everything, the elites come in and shoot it down. It's a sport. Like the Hunger Games, all these movies that you see today in Hollywood. This is what they're telling you. They're doing it right now on the planet to people. So, you know, you get the ambulance, the noises, because I'm giving you vital information. That's what this is. It's kind of like a poisonous snake that keeps running in circles around you and shoots needles into you. You know, they're not physical. They're psychological, emotional. They attack all your chakras. And when you spend 2-3 hours with this, you get pretty much drugged. You're in trance. You're in a state of trance. You can't do anything. So you stay dismantled and dysfunctional. It's kind of like an energy robbery machine that pretty much depletes you. And it's masquerading as its normal life in establishments. People coming to the hospital, people taking cabs, eating, whatever. It's a pure masquerade of, it's supposed to look like real life, but it's all fake. It's designed to do only one thing: covertly shoot needles into the piñata. As it's walking indoor, people come out. As I'm walking out, people come in. Constant pacing. You know, it's the piñata, sort of snake choking a piñata, shooting these small needles. That's about it. So in order for them to do this, the microchip makes them feel you, know when they're looking at them, so they can move and make noise. It's regulated. It's all computer generated. Just as your chip, they are too. You're the transmitter, they're the receiver. And they locate you, GPS or cellular or whatever, through those microchips, so they know where you are the whole time. Because if they don't know where you are, they can't do this to you. You know what I mean? And they can't top your apartment because you could find the equipment. So it's all done with a small microchip in your eyes, 2 of them. Nano, it's the size of a pin dot, and it has everything in it. They could see through you because it's put in your optical nerve. That's what transmits the information from your eyes to your brain, so to make pictures, for your brain to understand what you're seeing. So through that, they can hear you, they can hear what you hear, they can see what you see, and they can find you on the GPS, they know your location, they track you. So pretty much they're playing God. They're in you, they're inside of you. So everything you want to do, they can counteract it. If I feel like eating cheesecake, they won't give me cheesecake, they'll give me, I don't know, apple pie. If you have someone that's dominating you that way, it's just pure destruction. How do you beat something like that? Someone who's jeopardizing every move you make, giving you the opposite of what you want to get. So not only does constant noise and movement deprive you of pleasure and nurture, guys, if you want to enjoy something, eating a cake, and there's a lot of noise, it takes away. You don't feel the cake, you don't taste it. So they're depriving you of pleasure, and all these attacks, what they do to you, the constant pacing and noise and everything, to keep you in that state of trance, stressed out, you don't connect with your pleasures and taste buds anymore. No matter what you do, you won't feel it. That's to keep you miserable in a state of trance, to keep the piñata's cover nice and soft. So you're always dysfunctional. That's the idea of it too. And at the same time, it's creating all these jobs. Look at all these people coming here now. Guys, this is a hospital. The whole time I've been here, I should have seen maybe 20, 30 people. I've seen over 1,000. So all this energy that they're pushing. You see something with the pregnant women, how many I see? No, this is a hospital, but that's another attack with her thing, because what would a man, like a middle-aged man, want more than anything? Is a family. So that's the thing that they attack me with the most, and it's not, they're not just walking by, guys. Those things are being flashed in my face, brought over in front of me to see. You've seen all my other videos, you know how this works. So that's pretty much it, guys. You're being used as a piñata. That's the best way to describe it. So all the psychological warfare, everything you see, those are all small venomous needles that will attack you and weaken you, sedate you pretty much. You're getting sedated, and in a bad way. So you become really like a, overcooked chicken. You just grab the leg and then the bones just fall off. The meat falls off the bone. That's it. That's pretty much it. I think I have it all down wrapped. So this whole place goes on pause when I come in here. Any place. They closed the town for a day when I was there. The airport. Everything. And the ritual masqueration piñata festival takes place. The people who run the airport were all paid off. Nobody says anything. They run the government from behind the scenes. It's all about money. Everybody. So how do you fight an entity like this? You don't want to fight them. You just want to get out of this prison, So you have to have patience and pretty much keep yourself cool, because there's a huge attack on you. If you can't function, then you won't be able to do anything right. So you have to remember, it's me first, in terms of make sure you feel good, you're calm, you're sleeping, you're eating, you're functioning right as a human being. If not, if you overwork yourself, you won't make it. That's number one. It's kind of like if a plane crashes, you see they're giving you, directions on, if it's the mother, they tell her, put the oxygen mask on you first before you put it on your baby, because if you can't function, then you can't help your baby. So you have to help yourself first, be able to function, then you can help your baby. My situation here is like this. Me first, and then the ideas on how to come out of this. Because the war that's happening, the attack, is not on the outside, it's on me. It's an attack on you to make you battle with yourself, to make your weaknesses beat you. So you have to overcome those. You know what I mean? Once you understand that, then at least you have the first couple of basic steps in order for you to start moving on. And building the bricks so you can, help yourself come out of this without doing anything stupid, hurting anyone or hurting yourself. Obviously, the kind of person I am, we know that by now that will never happen. But this situation for a lot of people, if they're not titanium batteries, if they're AA, AAA, they could just explode. So who knows? Maybe that's why we hear about strange events, happenings, and shootings, and dumb things, and suicides, and who knows what's happening to these people. We're not there. We don't know what they've been through, right? Not to say that this happened to them, but it's just, it's a question, it's a comment worth mentioning. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful day, amazing weather. I always, if you notice, I wear this. You know why I always wear this even in August? You guys know if there's not a lot of noise around me or a lot of movement or a lot of things, the air kicks in. They have control over that. I don't know what it is. The microchip draws that in. Look at the wind over there. So it doesn't matter, even if it's the hottest day of the summer, I will wear always, I can never wear a t-shirt because it's always windy around me. Doesn't matter if I go to the Sahara Desert, maybe, if they have that set up. You know, if there's no pacing, no planes, no noises everywhere continuously, right? Let me show you the plane at least. Birds, whatever. If none of those things are around, the wind kicks in after the insects and the animals. I'm not sure how whether they chip them or whether they download your DNA into them. I've heard that, I don't know, it's a really advanced technology that 99% of the people out there have not heard of. They don't even know about. So this is, I get Love Island. They're always threatening me that I live on an island. There's not going to be anybody around. I'm never going to be able to make contact with a real human being. And obviously they're promoting sex over there. That's, you know, I'm never going to have a partner, a real partner or whatever. So psychological warfare with the billboard. At the beginning of your awakening, this will affect you a lot. It will screw with your head. Once you get used to it, you start laughing at it because it's a needle aimed against you to make you feel weak, for you not to be able to function more than anything, right? So once you get used to it, you start to laugh because it doesn't affect you. I'm gonna admit though, sometimes when you're really stressed out, when they sneak those in, they do affect you a little bit. They still have their, you know, effect on you. At least now I mentioned it, I talked about it, well, because I'm making a video, but still. So that's the idea, is to show you what you're deprived of over and over and over again, which will really bug you because, you know what I mean? It's the worst way you can torture someone, psychologically and emotionally. It's complete torture. The people that are doing this know exactly what they're doing. They enjoy torturing. And they're using the citizens of a country and making it look like it's normal life, masquerading as normal life. In the end, it's nothing but farm work, energy harvesting, you know? So guys, I don't know what I'm gonna call these videos. I guess the Elite's Piñata Festival, or we'll call it something like that. You know what I mean? The colors, you guys know all about that. They love those. Bright colors do take away from you too. They drain energy. Strong lights, all those things. Constant movement, constant noise, things that are negative, they make you miserable. Garbage everywhere. Canes, wheelchairs, disabilities, negative things, everything negative. Negative information. When you talk to someone, they have a conversation with you, you think it's just a conversation. No, it's designed tactically to make you negative. I talked to this woman that I got a cigarette off yesterday. She tells me her boyfriend burnt her and did this and did that. So that's negative. Then she mentions she had to go on drugs for years. She mentioned drugs. So all those things, when you take them into consideration, it's a war of negativity around you to drain you and deplete you of your positiveness, livelihood, and keep you in a state of trance, you know? And the words that you hear in a loud tone, I'll be right there. See, that has a certain, believe it or not, guys, once you start to understand how the science works, that was supposed to be, you know, something to do with the opposite sex and the way I'll be right there sounds. Certain sounds to your ears, when you're hit with them at certain points, they do have a certain effect on you. That's why you hear sirens, trucks backing up, honking, planes, people slamming objects, because every one of those objects has a particular specific sound that it makes, and it has a certain effect on you. It drains a certain kind of energy. When you see a lot of dogs on leashes to remind you that you're under control, that's a negative thing. That's telling you you're not going to make it. You're not going anywhere. I'm controlling you. When you see signs, things, boxes like this pulled out and ripped out and dropped, when you see signs like that fallen on the floor or ripped out, or you see tables in the garbage with broken legs, or you know what I mean? All those things, they have an effect on you, believe it or not, because it's negativity. It's things that are not functioning right. They're broken, diseased, dirty, throw up, feces, whatever. All those things, it's basically a realm of negativity that you'll be surrounded in. This is the reason why you get depressed. That a guy like me, why would a guy like me get depressed when he's 22 years old, has a business making $20,000 a month? Think about it. So this was used on me, and it's really hard for the normal, honest, gullible. See, I get someone down there moving and cigarette. They light up a cigarette right away because I only have a couple left for them to remind you that you have cigarette smoke. So it's this machine of negativity that's around you, that's pricking you with these poisonous needles, masquerading as normal society running around. But they ain't fooling anybody, because when you look at the amount of people that you see and the way they pace in front of you and behind you, and when I describe to you the detail that you see in the video, but that will wake you up. You're like, it's right. You know, but you have to notice those things, and you have to. Now we got a chopper, look. I haven't seen choppers in a while, because here they can't run on a lot of planes. It's out of area. It's you know, not that there are anybody left in here in terms of patients or anything like that. But what's that hair? Look, ripped out hair on the floor. Look. So I'm in front of a hospital here, guys, Sunnybrook. I mean, come on. This is how you want to turn a hospital into hunting season? The Canadian flags. Now, I know a lot of people use flags, but you know something? With my environment of flags, they like to put them there because when there's not much movement and noise and the wind kicks in, it makes the flags move and the trees and the leaves to keep on creating movement, constant movement. It's automatic. It's for the microchip to function. It has to have always constant movement and noise. It brings it in. It's kind of like a downloaded computer program. It's weird, guys. It's really mind-boggling technology, the way it works. It's kind of like you have a something in it that attracts whatever's around you in your environment, whatever's electrical, in this electromagnetic field we live in. So living organisms, it attracts them to you. Like, you know, that's why probably wherever you go, insects start to make noise. They're attached to you in a way, and animals around you, squirrels, birds. You've seen that in all my videos. And the wind is the last phase that kicks in when there's nothing moving. That's the reason why they put light stuff on the floor in your environment and flags, so you could still see movement. These things will fly when the wind hits. And that's pretty much it. And the more I get intense and I give you guys great knowledge, you'll notice that there's more pacing around me, more noise, more action, more cars, more planes, more birds, more everything. Listen, you'll notice that. Because the person who's running the machine will intensify it. Because I'm giving out information that is vital. So they intensify the machine. It's like a computer program. It's mind-boggling the way this microchip works. Mind-boggling. I mean, it's just genius. Can't take that away from them. It's too bad that they're using it to victimize certain people that have the talent to create something good in this life. It is. It's too bad. Because it's an amazing, amazing, amazing technology. Like, it's just genius. It's probably super genius. You know? And you have to say those things because it's true. And you have to be very positive. You have to be a strong, very strong believer. And you have to be selfless in this maze that they put you in. Because if you're not selfless, you'll get abused. You can't win. Why? Because they control everything physical around you. The women, drugs, anything for a man that can enslave a man, food, anything. So when you become selfless and you release all these addictions, you get away from all these addictions, then you have a chance to beat them. As long as you're attached to them, they will enslave you with them even more because they're right on top of you, controlling you. So the idea here, for you to get stronger and stronger, you have to be selfless. If you're not selfless and a strong believer in yourself, and in a higher power that is working with you to help you come out of this, you're in for a big mistreat. You're in for a big mistreat. Okay? You're a very, very fast exploding piñata. So to armor yourself, because you're being used as a piñata, you have to be selfless, and you have to get rid of all the physical addictions. All of them, all of them. All of them. Cain. So, but this is a hospital. This is why when I come here, I don't like to mention disabilities and everything and all that stuff, even, you know, pregnancies, because it's a hospital. But that you guys know in my videos and what I tell you the whole time, I see those things everywhere, not just in hospitals. That's why I just mention them quickly, you know. Now, if a woman that's pregnant doesn't mean that she has to be in the hospital. If she's in labor, that's different. But disabilities, canes and wheelchairs, obviously those people spend at least a day or two a week in the hospital. They come to get treated or whatever. So, that's pretty much what it is, guys. You're being used as a piñata and they want to hunt you. So as you see, you know what kind of women I like, and I get bombarded with them. And it's strategic in front of me when they pass by. It is designed for me to, as soon as I turn and look that way, it's strategically placed in front of me. You guys see that in all my videos. You know, and I've been seeing a lot lately, a lot of people that, to be honest with you, they would not be into doing something like this. They're bringing them in because they're running out. They won't run out. They could always get more, but it's a different grade of people. I've been seeing people that would actually do work and carry on with a job and are a bit responsible. You know, not the typical street gangster type that we saw at the beginning. Because it's been going on for a long time. They didn't expect it to go on this long. It's been a year now since I woke up. In about a week, it'll be a year. So, they have to bring them constantly. They have to. Because you can't let me rest. Once I rest and relax, it means the machine is not doing its work. If I rest for 24 hours straight, they'll need another month to take me back to that same stress level, anxiety level. You have to stay in a state of trance or the machine is not doing its job. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you're cooking a chicken, but then you want to turn off the oven. You can't turn it off. You have to leave it a bit warm, even if you want to slow down the cooking. But that's what's happening to you. You're a chicken that's being cooked in a machine all around you. So it's slow cooking. It's not real fire that's burning you physically, but it's cooking you well from the inside. So you come out well done. As soon as they grab the leg, the meat will fall right off the bone. That's exactly what it is. Hunting season, guys. Festival. Piñata. You know? That's why you see all these people coming at you from everywhere, because that, to your eyes, it drains too much energy out of you. See, that's why you compare this to the Truman Show. You see Truman, how when he's sitting, it's raining right on top of his head. You know what I mean? He tries to escape with the car with his wife. You see how all the cars come out from the street before him and block him off. Traffic gets created. You've seen that in all my videos. You see the guy with the garbage bin standing outside his car looking